And we are live. Hello, everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Hopefully, you are all off doing something romantic with your significant others.
Safely.
That's why we have two viewers.
Two viewers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're on Periscope. We have a
Oh,
few.
there goes the numbers. Here we
There
go.
we go.
Hey, Alfred, how are you?
Super Mario, Luigi, and Kevin is here.
Hey.
You picked a great day to come on the show. Let's see. Comments are loading in kind of slow. Where are you guys? Doing Valentine's Day things, I would imagine. Oh, there we go.
So.
Drew, what's
Hey,
up?
Drew. Hey. Thanks for following me to other podcasts and then coming back again. I appreciate that.
Just can't get enough of you. Derek, what's up? Brian, happy Snyder Cut trailer day. I can't believe that we got Joker saying we live in a society, and now that's a thing that exists. Have you seen the trailer yet?
I just watched it. I don't understand why it looks like it was formatted for a TV from 1978.
Yeah,
I hope it's going to be widescreen when it's on HBO Max.
I saw
Uh,
this weird format thing where they had like the full negative of the film and they didn't crop out the rounded edges. I don't know
Strange.
if that's going to be the actual aspect ratio for it or not. It's weird.
I mean, I'm looking forward to not paying for it.
Me
I'm.
too.
It's like every Zack Snyder DC film I went to with expectations an opening night and came away burned. He did it to me 3 times in a row.
Oh.
At least this time I don't have to leave my house to be. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be better.
The only person I trust is Kathy Yan. She has not disappointed me.
Okay.
She did Birds of Prey.
Right. Yeah. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I loved that one. That one was so much fun. Okay, well, we just broke 70 viewers.
Let's do it then.
Get started in 3, 2. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of the Attractions Podcast. I'm Brittany,
I'm Seth.
and we're here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in theme park news and more, as well as what's going on in our own lives. So, Seth, on this Valentine's Day evening, how has your week been?
I've had a great week. Thanks so much for asking, and I want to thank my wife for letting me interrupt our Valentine's Day together. We had a lovely picnic on our patio
Oh,
and watched her favorite movie, Chocolat. But she's let me take some time off this evening to talk to you. So thanks, honey.
I appreciate it too.
But I had a great week. I got to go to a couple media events at the theme parks. Most importantly, I got to go to the first big media event at Legoland with Banks Lee doing PR over there. So congratulations, Banks. It was a really well-run event. I got to enjoy the new water ski show, which is a great throwback to the old Cypress Gardens, and had a fun time out there at Legoland.
I got to watch a few vlogs of that. The show looks so much fun. Lots of more adult-centered jokes. There's a Baby Shark parody in
There's
there.
a lot of pop culture references thrown in there, but you're definitely really going for the water ski stunts. There's some
yeah.
amazing athletes on that show.
Mm-hmm. That's all you did this week? Oh, Banks is here. What's up?
Banks, big hug, Banks. It was great seeing you out there.
I was
So,
hoping. Sorry, go
it's
ahead.
your week.
Well, like I said before we started, we're in a winter weather advisory in Austin to the point where TDOT was like, stay home. Like, do not go out on the roads. So I've just been hanging out at home. We were watching Kung Fu movies all day.
Nice.
And then I finished Control.
Ah.
Yeah.
And
It's super heavy. Gosh, there
Yeah.
was so much lore, and I was waiting for it to like kind of spoon feed it to me because, to be honest, I was just collecting all of the things and not reading them.
oh yeah, you could spend weeks just reading every document and watching all the videos that you can collect in that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
and that's
unreal.
it doesn't leave you in a particularly happy place. Though
No.
it's not quite as bad as The Medium, which I just finished last night,
Oh
and
no.
oh my God, no spoilers, but possibly the darkest ending of any game I've played in years. Like,
Oh, that's.
yeah.
I need to get you to play The Last of Us 1 and 2. You need to ruin your life with that.
I've watched videos spoiling me on that I don't want to go there. But
It's
Medium is up there in just sheer depressiveness.
dang.
Yeah.
And then I started Age of Calamity because my boyfriend just finished playing through it, and he was like, "There's important things in the game. You need to play it so I can talk to you about it."
That's a solid relationship.
And I was
Couple that games together stays together.
He's been playing Hitman 3 all day, so I've been watching him inventively take people out with blueberry muffins and rubber ducks and stuff. It's ridiculous, but he seems to be having a good time.
Nice. I watched a video of someone dragging 300 characters into a wine press and squishing them all like grapes.
Yeah,
That was fun.
he found like a wood chipper or something and threw someone in it and was like, "Brittany, look!" Push the button.
This is why people want to ban video games. This
Yeah.
is why my wife refuses to watch me play.
Well, maybe we could get you on some Animal Crossing or something, something soft that she would enjoy. But I suppose, without any further ado, we should jump right into the news, huh?
Let's do it.
Missed Seth's beautiful dance moves just now. I wish you guys could have seen it. This, I have to say, it's not theme park news, but it's Orlando news, and I'm stoked for it. So much so that I booked the Austin and Broadway season for this year, so I could see some of these shows.
Yes.
Broadway is coming back to Austin, knock on wood, this fall, starting in September and running into next June with a killer lineup of shows if you're a theater person. Hadestown starting off your season. I'm jealous. Go see it if you can. It's an incredible show. I will neither confirm nor deny I've watched a bootleg. Shh, in case the FBI agents are listening. Tootsie is coming in November. The Prom, which you can watch on Netflix if you want to watch a movie version. Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Disney's Frozen, which is cool. Cats, if you didn't get enough of the Tom Luther movie. And Jesus Christ Superstar, which I think is getting a new staging or some new kind of show design, so it'll look a little different.
This is huge news for the theater community here in Orlando. We have a gorgeous Dr. Phillips Walt Disney Theater sitting empty, and this is great news for the whole touring community. And it also kind of gives us a hint of when things might go back to normal. That they feel confident enough that by mid-September we'll be able to have people gather in crowds. The shows are still only running one weekend, and they still have roughly the same number of subscribers. So I can't imagine that they're going to be doing 50% capacity. If they are, maybe they're going to have to do 2 or 3 shows a day.
That sounds exhausting.
I'm sure we're still going to have some measure of, people have to wear masks and some other social distancing measures. But it sounds to me like they're hoping to be able to operate like a normal theater by September, which is wonderful news. Can't come soon enough.
Yeah, tell me about it. At this time, they weren't able to reschedule 2 of the shows that were on the original lineup, Hamilton and The Band's Visit.
Yeah.
Hamilton is the first show on my season, but we don't start until December.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping it actually happens and they don't contact me like, hey, this is getting postponed, or hey, here's a refund. We've canceled it again.
No. Yeah, it wouldn't be fair if we got Hamilton twice before you get to see it for the first time.
Right? I've earned this.
Yes.
I've done my waiting.
Yeah, and missing the band's visit, that hurts. I hope that tour gets back together again because that show got fantastic reviews. But just being able to get to see Hadestown in September, that's a reason enough to look forward to the fall.
Oh man, I can't wait for people to see it and then get obsessed with it, and I'll be like, yep. Next up, Food and Wine is back at Busch Gardens Tampa starting February 20th.
Yeah, this is a common theme. Theme parks are big into food festivals right now. I did get to check out the Seven Seas Food Festival at SeaWorld, which is kind of the sister event to this Tampa event. Looks like they've got some overlap in some of the items. Definitely getting bigger every year. This year, up to 24 different booths and over 100 different items.
That sounds like a lot of sampling. It happens on weekends from February 20th to April 25th, and you can also try different pairings with wines, beers, and different cocktails with your small bites.
Yeah, and like the SeaWorld one, make sure you have a park reservation. You'll need that even if you have an annual pass. Still need a daily park reservation and look into those tasting lanyards because if you're going to order more than just one or two things, you can definitely save some money with the tasting lanyards.
And I believe you can bring these back if you don't use up the whole thing in one setting, right?
I know at Universal they allow you to use them up. I was given a media one that I used up all in one day, so.
Naturally, of course. The lanyards start at $35 and you can pick between a 5, 10, 12 sampler lanyard. If you're a pass member, you can get a 15 item lanyard. So definitely check that out. Over at Knott's Berry Farm, sweet Knott's Berry Farm still can't open, but they have a killer boysenberry festival coming up with so many purple delicious things. And now that I know what boysenberry tastes like, I feel like I can appreciate this more.
I got to attend one of these boysenberry festivals a couple years ago, pre-pandemic, and it was really fantastic. You could definitely spend a day at Knott's just eating the food and not even miss, having the rides close. It is, it gets to be a little overwhelming because there is boysenberry in pretty much every single dish. So if for whatever crazy reason you happen to really hate boysenberry, maybe this isn't the festival for you. But they managed to really prove that it is a very versatile fruit and can be used in a million different ways.
I have to ask, what do you think, if you had to describe boysenberry, what does it taste like to you? Because I have a flavor that it makes me think it tastes like, but
I don't know what the official definition of what it's a hybrid of, but to me it's like a raspberry met a cranberry. It's got kind of that raspberry flavor, but it's got more of a tart kick to it.
See, I think it tastes like artificial cotton candy flavor.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what they're going for, but
what my taste buds are telling me.
To each his own. Okay, well, I will say, I had the boysenberry ribs. I've had boysenberry beer, and neither of them tasted like cotton candy. I thought everything that I tried there was pretty good, but yeah, there's a lot of boysenberry, that's for sure. And the only way to get into this festival, like the previous food festival they've been having, is by buying a tasting lanyard, which includes admission.
And we've talked about this before with Knott's Pass food festivals. It's a great deal. You get into the park, you get all of those various tastings on your card, and the food's great. And the sample sizes are generous.
Yeah, they're good sized portions. You can definitely fill up on a few of these.
The Taste of Boysenberry Festival will be happening on select dates from March 5th through May 2nd. And tasting cards are $20 for kids and $45 for adults. So if you are in SoCal and looking for something delicious to do while you wait for the okay that the theme parks can open back up, check this out. I really want this boysenberry cookie ice cream sandwich.
The cookie witch, that looks very good.
That looks so good. And the little macarons too. So yummy. Now, this is not necessarily a news piece in itself, but it mentioned something that I thought we should talk about. Down here, in a letter to pass holders, I believe Ken Potrock, the president of Disneyland Resort, announced that there was going to be a ticketed, limited time food and beverage event over at DCA. The rides and attractions will be closed, but pass holders, I assume, or the general public, it was not specified, will get to go and hang out in the whole park and not just through Buena Vista Street.
Yeah. So this is definitely Disneyland looking down the street at Knott's and saying, hey, we need some of that money. DCA has done food festivals in the past. They have booths. They're all set up for it. So stretch for them to do a hard ticket event just like Knott's is doing and allow people in to enjoy those food booths and the shops, even like they said, without the rides. Obviously, none of this has been official yet, but if I wanted to do something to lure in these new legacy annual pass holders and offer them something, this would definitely be a thing to do. Also, another accompanying rumor that I've been hearing is that some Disneyland cast members may be being called back to work. That if they close DCA off as a ticketed area for this food festival, that may give them reason to open Main Street up for shopping and dining, just like they've been doing Buena Vista Street. Again, just a rumor right now, but with all of the other Southern California parks trying to find ways to offer some sort of offering, then Disneyland can't be far behind.
Yeah, and they are still hopeful that they'll open this year. We'll get to it later, but the first quarter 2021 earnings call was this past week.
Yeah.
And they still said that Avengers Campus is opening this year.
Yep.
So.
And they name-checked some Epcot attractions without a date. And made no mention of Tron whatsoever.
Tragic,
but
man.
I think they also said Runaway Railway in California is still moving along. So
yeah. Because that's already been delayed once, but they kept the same new date. So at least we can be optimistic about that. But whether or not they'll actually get to open.
Fingers closed.
Fingers
crossed.
Fingers closed. Fingers
crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers live long and prosper. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on.
This is a cool thing. If you hate carrying around a wallet, you can now use Universal Pay at Universal Orlando Resort owned and operated stores. This
is kind of neat. They've already been taking like Apple Pay and Google Wallet kind of things, and if you stay on site, you've been able to tie it, to your room charge. But now anyone who registers a credit card in their app can get a QR code. It doesn't work at third-party locations right now, but if you're at a first-party merchandise or beverage location, you should just be able to flash this QR code on your app, and they just scan it and go. It should be even quicker, theoretically, than scanning a card or doing an Apple Pay.
And what's great about it is I feel like my parents would have abused this feature. You can set spending limits, like have your whole family have access to your credit card, but then say that they can only spend $30 a day. And then once they spend it, they don't have any more charging privileges.
Yeah, this would be great for sticking to a budget while you're on vacation with your family. Or like if you have a teenager, you're local, they have an annual pass, and you want to, be able to set limits for how much they can spend when they visit the park. Great way to do it. Or even for yourself. I know sometimes. So if I go into the food festival, yeah, I could use a spending limit.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would have been incredibly helpful with the Wizarding World. You can also... Let's see. We tested it out. Our publisher, Matt, was at Universal and gave it a try. And he said it was really easy to use. Took only a few minutes. And it uses the card that you already have saved in your app, in your wallet. Or you can log one in. I tried to look at it myself, but since I don't have an AP anymore, it was trying to get me to make an account.
You do have to log in with the password, which I think you can do even without an annual pass. And if you've previously set up a credit card to use Tapu Tapu at Volcano Bay, it should be able to use that same card.
I hope it gets moved over to third party, and then what's the point in bringing your wallet beside your ID to check
Exactly.
your AP? Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we're one step closer to Tapu Tapu being everywhere. I'm just
Next,
kidding.
next, you just need that chip in your head, and you'll be set.
Elon Musk is working on it.
I'm not a monkey.
This is coming to a close. To the day that you're reading this will be the last day that it's being offered. But Busch Gardens Tampa is celebrating Valentine's Day through the 15th with all your favorite Sesame Street friends.
Um, aw,
Yeah,
it's
very
adorable.
sweet. Yeah.
I think we should also really quickly talk about Leave a Legacy over at Epcot.
Where did that go?
I think there was a link issue.
Oh, link issue. My bad.
So Epcot has revived the Leave a Legacy monument with very little advanced warning.
Yeah.
This was something that people who were fans of it got very angry when it was pulled out. When they redid the front of Epcot, and those of us who were never big fans of it were kind of happy. But now they've made everyone happy by bringing back those little mosaic tile faces in a new location right outside the park entrance, so you can visit it without even entering the park if you need to. And it's got a new rainbow color scheme that matches the colors that are on the new entrance, the ticket booths.
I love it. I think the color palette is so fun, and it's the setup of it feels very akin to the kind of future vibe that they're going for with Epcot's front. You hate it, don't you?
No, no, I would
Okay.
say I think it right now still looks a little temporary to me. It looks like part of the construction walls, but it's a huge improvement over that big black war memorial
Yeah.
sitting in front of Spaceship Earth.
Tombstones was a
Yeah,
graveyard.
yeah, exactly. Um, no, I think it's a great compromise. I personally never got a Leave a Legacy. I didn't feel like having my face engraved in the I don't know, monument to the dead.
That's your legacy that you
Yeah.
leave forever. One thing that I thought was really cool that they added when they put these back up is a new QR system to help you search the faces.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought was super neat.
Should make it way easier to track yourself down on there.
Yeah, you can go over to this corner just like this, find a QR code and scan it to get coordinates for a specific tile's location. Or if you're looking for NSYNC's Leave a Legacy tiles, you can just check them out right here. They used to be straight across, and now they're going up and down. So I wonder what they had to do to put this whole thing back together like a big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, I'm sure it was not easy to reformat the whole thing.
And
But
have to recolor it all, and
yeah,
but very cool. I like it. I know some people don't, but that's okay. And
if you don't like it, it's outside the park. You can't even
Right.
complain that much.
Oh, leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we're going to see a giant monolith appear in the Epcot parking lot. And then our last bit of news in the queue was from the Disney earnings call, as I mentioned earlier, where Bob Chapek was asked about kind of looking forward at the parks and what visiting the Disney parks will be like at some point in the distant future leading up to 2022. And his comments were hopeful but interesting. He anticipated that we would have to still use masks and social distancing for the rest of 2021, but does not think that we will be in the same position in 2022.
Yeah, that's not really a big surprise. The estimates have ranged anywhere from spring to fall for when the majority of people have vaccines. But even once you have the vaccine, we still don't know for sure that prevents you from spreading to someone who isn't vaccinated. So yeah, we're still going to be looking at a lot of the social distancing sticking around all through the end of this year. But the idea of being able to go back to the parks in 2023 without a mask on makes me very hopeful.
And Chapek also mentioned that the rate of vaccinations among the public will determine their capacity and how quickly they increase it. So if you have an opportunity to get the vaccine, do it, because that will signal to Disney that people are trying to combat this pandemic as best as they can. And then if there's interest, we could see increased capacity at the parks across Walt Disney World and hopefully Disneyland if they open this year.
Yes. Hopefully.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm itching for a trip. And for our main attraction this week, we have a special guest.
This is really exciting.
Yes, you might know him from TDR Explorer on YouTube and online. Chris.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you
Good to see you.
for being on with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Now, you are our resident expert of Super Nintendo World, and I've been living vicariously through all of your coverage.
I got to get out of the way. I'm so jealous of you.
Yep. Let's address the
elephant in the room. We all want to be you right now.
So jealous.
I'm wondering, before we jump into talking about Super Nintendo World, can you just introduce yourself to any of our listeners who don't know you? Give a little bit of your background, how you ended up as the TDR Explorer.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so I live in Japan here. I've been living here for, it's going to be 8 years now. And I cover the theme parks in Japan and also other parts of Asia like Hong Kong and Shanghai. And I started this as just something fun to do when I moved to Japan. I just started going to Tokyo Disneyland, because it was an hour away from my place at the time. And I just started talking about it online. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And this was back in 2013. So I've been doing this for a while now. It's crazy. Like, I never would have imagined this is what I would actually be doing and covering Super Nintendo World, the very first Nintendo theme park land or whatever you want to call it in the world. Like, I don't know.
Well,
it's crazy.
If any of our listeners are not familiar, please go and check out his YouTube channel because it is, I think, the best coverage I've seen so far of Super Nintendo World. So I don't want to take this over. Brittany, I think, has some questions. I was just so excited to talk to you. I wanted to jump in.
I don't have specific questions. I mostly just want to pick your brain. So the land itself, it has 2 attractions, 1 restaurant, a couple of stores. Could you give us kind of the abridged cliff notes of Super Nintendo World for the listeners at home?
If you've ever played any Mario game, it's like stepping into a Mario game. And you can touch everything. You can buy stuff. You can eat cute food. You get to ride Mario Kart. It was really hard to capture everything in my videos. Like, it's just, I don't know. I was just like so overwhelmed when I first walked in there. It was literally a dream come true, like a childhood dream come true. You feel like you're in the video games. And I think they did such a wonderful job with all the merchandising, the food, the attractions we'll talk about because I know that's a hot topic right now, and just the interactivity that they have in the land. That I think they really knocked it out of the park with the interactivity. I think, like, I even have the Power Up Band on right now.
All right, so tell us a little about what you can do with the Power Up Band, like both inside the park and then once you get home.
So for this, it's a snap bracelet, right? So it's like, if you're a child of the 90s, you know exactly what these are.
Totally.
Yeah. And so it pairs with the official Universal Studios Japan app, which is available in English, thankfully. And then you create an account and everything. And it actually keeps track of the stuff you do in the land. So there's actually stamps that you collect, which I guess is akin to the new Super Mario 3D World. The one that just came out on the Switch or re-released on the Switch or whatever.
Okay.
So it's the exact same thing. You do stuff in the land to collect all these stamps. And there's things from visiting the characters. If you visit the characters, you get a stamp. If you collect 100 coins from punching all the blocks, you get a stamp. If you ride Mario Kart 5 times, you get a stamp. If you visit in December, you get a stamp. If you beat Bowser Jr. 10 times or something like that, you get a stamp. If you beat these mini games on a hard mode, you get a stamp. So they've really gamified it, which doesn't surprise me, right? It's Nintendo. They're like, that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what this does. And it just keeps track of everything. And there's also little interactive points where you like tap your band and something will happen. Like you have to go around and collect these 8-bit characters that are hidden around the land. Like there's little touch points hidden in the stores, hidden in little nooks and crannies, hidden in the attraction queues. And there's even, you can collect items, which I'm not sure what you can do with them yet. I thought maybe they would translate into the new Super Mario game, but I haven't seen that. But you can collect items like if you go to the Toad's restaurant, you can tap your band and you get a gift because it's Toad's house, right? So in the game, you get the small gift or the big gift. You get to pick one, and then you get an item that goes into your account and everything. I'm not sure what you can do with those yet.
So have you experienced the interactivity at either the Wizarding Worlds or Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars attraction at the Disney parks? And how would you say the interactivity compares to those?
This is something that I think Disney wished they did. I'm going to be honest. And I've done the one thing at Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I think they just take this up a notch. They really do. With like just punching the blocks, like that is just, it's so simple, but it's so satisfying, especially when you hear that coin sound. Like you know exactly what sound I'm talking about. As soon as you hit it, like you hear it. It just fills you with so much joy. You know, and that's something we kind of all need right now. You know,
for sure.
So it's just, yeah, I think the interactivity, they did such a good job with it. It was a lot more than I thought it would be. And there's just, I feel like that's like the shining part of the land is this interactivity. Like they really just went all out with it. And I can't wait to see what else they're going to do with this as it moves forward.
It really feels like they were trying to encourage exploration and all of the interactivity. It makes this land feel alive. I think that's my biggest complaint when it comes to Galaxy's Edge is like, it's cool and it's beautiful, but it doesn't feel living. And just telling from video, Super Nintendo World feels like it's a living, breathing place.
It's also got amazing kinetics. There's just things moving everywhere you look in the videos.
Blow my mind.
Yeah, just everything moving around just makes it. Yeah,
I'm a little curious. How was it? How did you feel being there? You know, we're still in a pandemic. I know things in Japan are still touch and go. How are they handling all of these high touch interactive things you have to punch? You know, and I know the huge crowds that that park can get. How did you feel they handled all of that?
So they're limiting the amount of guests that can go in the park. I don't know the exact number, but it's pretty low. And when we went, we did this during annual pass previews. So it was even more limited. We had a very small, finite window to experience all of this. And yeah, there's obviously a lot of touch points, but they had hand sanitizers everywhere. And the fact that there wasn't a ton of people, it's a little small in terms of like the walkways and stuff, so things can feel a little tight. So I'm not sure how it's going to be once they start letting more people in. I don't know how that's going to go. But overall, I thought they did pretty good with that. Like the Mario Kart queue is really long, so it's really easy to stay away from people. But I guess the hardest thing was probably the restaurant. We were kind of sitting, like the tables really weren't spaced. You're just kind of put in beside people. So I guess they did okay. You know, I don't know. It's tough. It's not, this isn't easy.
It clearly wasn't designed with COVID in mind.
No.
No, definitely not.
But I think they're at least doing a great job. I've seen a lot of videos where someone will punch a block or touch something and then it will immediately get wiped down and they'll get hand sanitizer, and it seems like they're at least being proactive about it.
Yeah.
Now, please, we need to talk about the rides.
Yes.
Yep.
Would you like to chat about Yoshi first or Mario Kart first?
Let's go with Yoshi.
Okay.
It's cute. It's
very charming.
It's an Omnimover. That's all it is. But it's so cute.
It is so cute.
Especially if you played any of the Yoshi Island games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the music is right out of the games, of course. There's even little interactive points in the queue, like punching the Yoshi egg blocks and make the egg sound. And then going on the ride itself, you get a really good view of the land, which I think is really cool. And then of course there's all the different characters. There's even like Baby Mario, Baby Peach in there with their annoying voices.
Is there some sort of interactivity on?
Yeah, so on the lap bar, there's actually 3 eggs and 3 colored eggs, and once the eggs show up in the attraction, you like tap on them on the lap bar, and that also syncs up with your band as well, so you get stamps for collecting that,
Cool.
which is really cute.
I love that. I was a big Yoshi fan when I was younger, and watching the ride through videos, I felt like I was 6 years old again playing Yoshi's Island on Nintendo 64. It was just so cute. And I know it's short, but I think that's fine because I don't know if I could take all of the music and the noises and all of that for a 5-minute dark ride.
Yeah, it's pretty short, but I think, I don't know, they just did a really good job with that, with just being an Omnimover type of attraction. And that's something they kind of need too, right? It's for
all
families.
of the Universal parks could really use a couple all ages Omnimovers for sure.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think for the longest time we were just like, how is this going to work? How are you going to experience these characters driving past you and throwing shells, and I know it's slow, and that seems to be the point of contention for everyone. So what was your experience like on this thing?
So I got to ride it 3 times. The first time I rode it, it was very overwhelming, just because I was trying to take everything in, right, too, like paying attention to stuff, and there's just a lot going on, right? So I'm like, okay, like what am I doing? Probably the best way to describe it is they took a video game and translated it into a dark ride, is what they've done. Good or bad. I'll let people decide that themselves once everyone can experience it. For me, I enjoyed the ride. Is it the best thing in the world? I'm going to say no. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed with it. So just taper your expectations a little bit, and try and enjoy it for what it is.
For those who are out there judging it based on videos that technically aren't really supposed to be shot, because Universal Japan's not big into people filming on rides, but we'll skip past that.
That's a hard ride because it's hard ride to film.
Could you talk a little about the augmented reality and what that really looks like in person, and not with someone trying to shove a cell phone camera through the headset?
Yeah, so you wear like the Mario cap, right? So they give that to you, and it adjusts and everything on the back, and the goggles aren't actually on it. That's actually attached to the steering wheel, which I guess would make sense because it needs to be powered, right? So when you sit down, the goggles are on the steering wheel. You pick it up and they slide onto the visor, and I think it's magnets or something, because there was no clipping. It just kind of stuck on. So I'm guessing it's magnets. And then once you start going, you kind of see everything obviously in front of you. So you can actually see, if you look at your steering wheel, you can see the number of coins you have collected and what items you have.
Like a heads-up display.
Yeah. So it's right on the steering wheel. And then anything like when you're shooting your shells or the other characters are on screen, they're obviously on the goggles there. And they're like right there in the on the physical sets. And also there's effects that happen from the physical sets because there are animatronics and stuff, but there'll be like a fireball flying at you, which is actually kind of cool. So it just feels like a simplified version of Mario Kart when you're actually like moving around and stuff. And there's kind of like a group effort because there's 4 people in a cart, right? There'll be arrows that show up on the screen, and you'll have to turn at the same time. If you all do that, then you get more coins, and you have a better chance of beating Bowser at the end because I guess the point is to beat Bowser. I thought you were racing the other team beside you because it's 2 carts, but you're actually not. They're just they're doing the same thing as you basically. So you don't really pay attention to them.
So it's not like Men in Black where you're shooting at the other car.
No, they're just kind of there beside you. Yeah. I guess a good way to describe it, it's kind of a slower moving version of the Men in Black. Like it does, like the cart does spin around and everything, but it's not intense. Because I know the Men in Black one, when it starts spinning, it can feel a little like, oh, this is a bit much at some points. But it doesn't do that for this. It does spin around. Like if you get hit with the shell, you'll spin around and stuff. So, and you go through the different Mario Kart racetracks. And of course, it ends with the Rainbow Road, which I really wish, like this is my one big thing for me personally. I wish at the end for Rainbow Road that they maybe sped you up just a little bit. It kind of just kept the same speed, but they made it like faster on the headset. I just wish it like maybe just a little bit faster, just to give us that feeling at the end. But they didn't do that.
It's a bus bar. It goes at 1 speed.
Yeah,
everyone moves at 1 speed. But you would say that the augmented reality really adds a lot in terms of the immersiveness and the sense of speed and stuff.
Yeah, they definitely tried to do that with it, and it's overwhelming. I'll be honest, it's very overwhelming because there's physical things moving. You're actually moving. There's stuff flying at you on the screen. You're trying to like see how many coins you have. And there's fireballs flying and stuff. So it's a very overwhelming, overstimulating experience. So the one criticism I got, because I recorded my reaction just after getting off the ride. People didn't like my reaction, but I was still like processing like what did I just experience, you know? So for what it is, I think it's a fun ride. It's not gonna blow anyone's mind or anything like that. Of course, I wish it was a little bit faster, but that's kind of everyone's consensus on that have seen the videos anyway. I've thought about that, like how could they have moved faster? I don't know if they could have, because people are wearing like physical things, and there's actually the third time I rode it, we were spinning, and I was trying to adjust my head thing at the same time, and it fell off my head.
Oh no!
That's
I was
not
like,
good.
oh yeah, because that was more my fault because I was like fiddling with it because I was just trying to see what was going on.
I think that if you had something that moved at the speed of like a test track, and you actually, tried to shoot shells at someone, you'd never be able to hit anything.
No, I don't think that would have worked.
And I thought about it too, and maybe motion sickness was a thing because you have like VR on, you're trying to focus on that and your surroundings, and if it was going too fast, that's just asking for people to hurl.
Yeah, like I get motion sick really easily, and the first time I rode it, I didn't get motion sick. The second time, I was a little motion sick, but I was really trying to focus on everything. That was what I was doing. I was really paying attention. But I wasn't like, I wasn't going to throw up or anything like that. I was just like, okay, I'm a little disoriented, but I'm fine. Not like, the VR roller coasters and stuff. I can't do those. I get really sick.
Yeah.
Because at Universal here, they have the Space Fantasy coaster that they do the VR with. Now, of course, like that moves really fast, and you can argue, well, that moves fast and you're wearing a thing, but the whole thing is actually attached to the ride, so it's not going to fall off, whereas Mario Kart's in 2 pieces. So with what they've done, I think they did the best they could, I think, with what they had to work with. Of course, I'm not an engineer or anything, so this is all just like backseat, armchair engineering. So I don't know.
All right. Well, no one really cares about the ride. Let's talk about the important thing, which is the food.
Oh yeah.
I watched your latest food video and I'm very jealous. It all looks really creative. I'm not sure how a lot of it will translate to American palates, but
Yeah.
what were your top picks? What were the things that you want to go back and eat again?
Definitely the pizza bowl. I really enjoyed the pizza bowl. That was really good. And probably I typically don't really like theme park burgers. They're usually
Mm.
a miss. But
Yeah.
the Mario bacon cheeseburger was probably the best burger at Universal that I've
Oh.
had. Because yeah, we know theme park burgers are really never all that great.
No.
But this one was
It's got to
pretty
be
good.
better than Captain America
It was.
at Iowa.
I've never had that one. I heard.
Yeah,
It's
you're
that
not
great.
missing anything.
Don't want to.
Yeah, but yeah, and everything has mushrooms in it. I think almost every dish, unless it was
So that's good to know. If you are allergic to fungi, you might want to avoid Super Nintendo World.
yeah, there was just a lot of mushrooms and everything, which I thought was an interesting choice. They'll probably have to change that for when it opens up in the U.S.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Because yeah, that was my first thought. Like for me, I don't mind mushrooms; it doesn't bother me. But I thought, that's not really going to translate well for other palates. I don't think.
Mm.
I love mushrooms, so I was kind of excited, though a little apprehensive of the popcorn, especially the mushroom popcorn. What is that like? How does that translate?
I didn't get to try the mushroom popcorn. I missed it.
No.
But it's mushroom cream. I know that.
See, that's
Mm.
the cream is what throws me off, because if
It-
it's like a savory mushroom flavor, that's fine. But
It sounded like they took like powdered cream of mushroom soup and just sprinkled it over.
Yeah, that's what it would have been. Yeah, I did get to try the caramel peach though, and that was really tasty. It was very sweet.
yeah,
The peach flavor wasn't overpowering, which was nice. I think they did really good with that.
Any other desserts you can recommend?
ooh, yeah.
I really liked Peach's cake.
Oh, yeah, the
You
little
could-
one that she bakes.
Yeah, like the big cake with the note on it and everything. It was not cheap though. That was $28.
I think that's meant to share.
Yes, it is. It is.
Not that you have to. If you want it all to yourself,
I'm not
go
sure.
for it.
And then there's actually a snack stand that has some Yoshi themed food. There's two lassi drinks. There's like there's a mango and there's also a melon. And for winter they have this apple. I think it's apple cinnamon Yoshi drink. And then they have a calzone that looks like the green shell, and inside is fried noodles with cheese.
Oh
I saw a picture of that, and I thought that's what Star Wars Land should have done for like that green puff thing that Rey ate in Force Awakens. They should have.
Oh,
should
yeah,
have made
yeah,
things
yeah.
looking just like that.
The instant portion. Yeah.
Yeah, they did such a good job with the food. I mean, for theme park food, like it's pretty good. A lot of it tastes how you think it's gonna taste. Like that was another thing that people were making fun of me for. Is like, well, the carbonara tastes like carbonara. There's nothing special about it. It just looks cute, you know.
But you're paying for the plating, which is amazing. I saw that caprese salad that's
Oh, yeah,
the
like a
caprese.
piranha plant.
Yes,
Someone spent a lot of time working out how to arrange every one of those plates.
yeah, the presentation is
Yeah.
just like top notch.
When you were eating the mushroom soup in your video, I was like, oh, I hope he gets to keep the bowl.
Oh,
And then you immediately were like, and you don't get to keep the bowl.
yeah, I knew that's what everyone was gonna ask about it, but yeah, you don't get to keep the bowl.
Well, speaking of things you do get to keep, I see some stuff behind you in the background. What are some
Oh, yeah.
souvenirs that you brought back?
So I got the fire flower. That's a keychain, and then in the back, it's Toad. I'm trying to point. Toad in his outfit from the restaurant, which I thought was really cute.
Nice.
So much merchandise. Like when I did my merchandise video, I thought, okay, this will take me half an hour. No, it took me well over an hour to go through everything, and I ran out of vocabulary to kind of describe everything. I started saying cute over
Cute,
and over
cute.
because I'm like, I don't
Kawaii.
know what else to say anymore. There's just so much Mario merchandise, and and they really thought about foreign audiences, because in Japan, people don't particularly care for stuff that says like Universal Studios on it or Disney or whatever. They want something that's cute, that's maybe practical, things like that. But of course, this is going to draw a lot of international guests eventually once things open up. So they had a lot of stuff that said like Universal, Super Nintendo World, Universal Studios, stuff like that. So there was a lot of that.
I noticed a lot of stuff in English.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't come and visit right now, even if we wanted to. But once it opens up, what are some tips that you have for someone like me? All the Japanese I know I learned from Midnight Diner. So for someone like me, what are your tips for planning a vacation there and navigating the parks?
Well, first of all, I'm going to plug our website and our book on Universal Studios Japan. It's on our website, tdrexplorer.com, where we have so many details on Universal. But learning a couple of Japanese phrases goes a long way. Of course, this is kind of for any foreign country where English is not the first language. You want to learn a couple of the pleasantries. That goes a very long way. And I know one thing a lot of people are worried about is the language barrier. People in Osaka, where Universal is located, very friendly. Like, everywhere in Japan, everyone's very friendly. So even if there is like a communication breakdown, people are going to be very helpful with you and stuff. So don't worry about that. You'll be okay. A lot of the stuff is in English too. So that's also really good. But for, I guess, more practical things, the hotels are right on property there. Like, I think there's 8 within walking distance. So like, just take your pick, really. And buy your tickets ahead of time, just like anywhere else. And we don't know how the system works yet for Super Nintendo World, because it's going to be very popular. We know that, like, it's just a given. Yeah. But if you get a ticket into the park, you're not going to be guaranteed entry into Super Nintendo World, because they're going to be doing a timed entry system, and there's only so many per day. So if, I haven't been able to use that yet, so I don't know. I don't have any tricks on it yet, but it's the same system they've used for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter when it first opened, and they still sort of use it on really busy weekends and stuff. So you have to get a return. It's basically like a fast pass. You got to get a return time to go into the land. And there's also paid options as well. You can pay to have this timed entry. So if if it's a once in a lifetime thing, you want to guarantee you're going to get in, pay the extra money. That's just how it is. I could sit here for hours talking about it.
Well, we won't make you do that, but we will encourage people to check out your website for sure.
I know I'm definitely going to be using it. The second that they say that it's safe for international travel, I'm going to be planning a trip after this past year.
I think a lot of people are going to be looking to get out of the country once we're allowed to.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and just visiting Japan in general is it's a very lovely country. That's why I've been here for 8 years now at this point. And just having all these world-class theme parks in such a small geographical area is really nice. I'm not going to lie, it's nice to be able to do that. Yeah, you can be in Tokyo Disneyland one day, and the next day you're at Universal. You just hop on the bullet train. You're there in 2.5 hours. There you go.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Sounds like a dream.
Now I have to ask, because this is, I would hope, just a phase 1 for Universal and Nintendo, and they do have some references to other Nintendo properties like the Pikmin hidden around the land, which I love.
Yeah.
What would be on your wish list if they announced like a phase 2 or a phase 3 for Super Nintendo?
That's a good question.
IP, yeah.
I would have to probably go with Zelda, Legend of Zelda, something like that. Something like that. I think that would be really cool. I don't know what they would do. I have no idea, but something with that would be really, really cool. I think, like they can maybe do. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head. Something to do with, like going inside the caves inside the Zelda games, and like have the bands where you have to collect items or something like that, like something kind of like interactive type of thing. I think that would go over really well. And I don't know if you guys saw in the video. I think it was my food video. There's a big door that looks like Donkey Kong in the back of the land. It's like, wonder what's going there.
Do you know if there's still some expansion space left? I know, that park is pretty tight on room, but is there still some parking lot back there that they could maybe expand into?
Yeah, there's some room back there, and if you open up the app and look at their map, you can kind of see they kind of extended the map out behind Super Nintendo World, and they put some Nintendo characters on there, so they clearly have some ideas of what they're going to be doing there. And then, unfortunately, Jaws is kind of sandwiched between.
Don't say it.
No.
It's sandwiched between Wizarding World and Nintendo World, so.
So if I want to relive the wonders of Jaws, I need to get out there soon.
I don't know what they're doing.
All right, that's reason enough to make a trip out there.
Oh man, now the pressure is on. Well, I've been campaigning. I love Animal Crossing, so I really want. For PAX East, they did this whole display where it was like physical, the house, the bridge where you could fish. They had costume characters for KK, Tom, and Timmy and Tommy and Isabel, and I cried because I died to meet them. Even if it's just like something for little kids, like Barney's play area in Kid Zone, it would be like children and me.
That would be so cute.
That'd be
like
awesome.
having like an Animal Crossing greeting or something.
Wouldn't it be so nice?
Oh, we
didn't really talk about the characters.
Greetings. Oh my goodness, that was a good segue. The coolest thing was they talk, except for Toad. I don't think Toad talks. I never heard him talk, but Princess Peach talks, and it's all in English too, which I thought was really cool. It's all just set phrases. It's not like they're actually interacting with you. It's just more like, "Hi, how are you? Let's take a picture together," like things like that.
That's cute.
And Peach's eyes move and her mouth moves with the speech and everything. I tried to get video of it, but I was moving around so much. I'm like, oh, I didn't get video of this. I didn't get video of that. But that was really cool. I was legitimately surprised because I went in when we first went. I tried not to look at anything. I didn't want to know anything. Like when you saw my reaction, that was genuine. That was a genuine reaction. I was genuinely like, whoa, this is crazy. And then Mario and Luigi, you get to meet them. And when I met them, they were talking, but I really couldn't hear them. So I'm not sure what they were saying. And then there was Toad. Toad's just hanging out.
I love Toad.
It's so
That's
cute.
awesome.
Those greetings they did such a good job. So, like the hair, the hair. I thought it was going to be,
like
just the way like it's wavy and everything. Like it looks like real hair. I thought it would just be plastic, just a big plastic piece. No, it looks like real hair on
That's
all
a
of
little
them.
creepy.
I think
so
that was
weird.
the first thing I said when I saw the characters. I was like, wait, the hair is real?
We
Yeah.
have a question in our chat from Eric. And actually, I'd like to know this one too. Do you have to buy the power-up band to interact with things? If you punch stuff and you're not wearing a band, does anything happen?
I don't know. I never tried. I just like as soon as I got there, I bought it, I put it on, and it never came off. I never thought to do it. I'm not sure. I'm sure.
So pretty
it
much,
probably
if you're
does.
going all the way out there, you're going to spend the extra $30 on the band, right?
Like that's the thing. I think if you don't
you
get
got
it,
yeah,
you-
you're
like,
going to feel
it's-
left out. It's like all the other kids have one.
And you can use them as an amiibo if you have a Switch.
Yes.
So
Oh.
Yes, they work as I confirmed it works with the new Mario game, and it gives you at least mine does. I don't know if they're different for every character, but I get like you get a superstar in the game, like
Oh.
a superstar power up in the game once a day or something. So I thought that was actually really cool that they thought of that. And yeah, we didn't really talk about the mini games. There's a bunch of mini games for Bowser Jr.'s Castle game. You have to collect all these keys, and they're tracked with this. So you have to have this to be able to track the keys that you collect. and you have to collect 3 keys from 3 different mini games, which are pretty easy. Of course, it's meant for children, right? So it's not going to be overly hard. From what I know, though, there's different difficulty levels. So I didn't get to do it enough, but I think it just kind of gradually gets harder the more you do it, because it keeps track of that somehow. Because you have to tap first before it starts. So I'm guessing that's how it knows, like, okay, this person's done it before. And then once you collect the keys, you go to the Bowser Jr. attraction. Like, you can't go in unless you have the 3 keys.
Oh, they won't even let you in.
No.
Oh,
So
neat.
it's like it's this group effort game, and you're all in this big room, and there's a big screen in front of you, and you're all on like standing side by side, and your silhouette is on the screen, and you have to jump and punch like things that are flying at you. And if you have the fire flower, when you punch up in the air, your silhouette will shoot out a fireball. And if you jump, like, you'll jump really high and stuff like that. It's just like, that was really fun. Like, I wasn't expecting that either.
And that's just with like motion capture cameras. You're not wearing any special equipment for that.
Yeah, you're not wearing anything special. No,
Cool.
You're just there, which is really cool. I have that on my second vlog of Super Nintendo World. Yeah, such a good job. Oh my goodness.
I was so impressed with the clarity of your little silhouettes when you do that mini game. It was unreal, because everyone knows the museum exhibits where you go stand in front of the thing and you can see your shadow, but this was like crisp. I can see all of my fingers and toes and everything.
Yeah, like, I could see the backpack I was wearing. Like, I could see the square shape on my back. I thought that was just, yeah. I don't even know where the cameras are that they were doing that with. I have no idea. And there's just like so much fanfare throughout the entire thing. It's crazy, just like the sounds and everything, like the music blocks. So there's a music block game. You have to hit the blocks in a certain order, and then they'll play a different Mario tune. And that, of course, is a stamp that you have to collect. There's like 5 songs I think you got to play, and it's all random too. So you have to keep doing it over and over again. There's also the binoculars. There's binoculars that you can look at the land.
Oh, yeah.
And that has augmented reality on it as well. So when you're looking through it, you'll see, like, the Koopa Troopas are flying by and things like that. And there's also stamps associated with that saying, like, you trying to find different Pikmin and stuff like that. And there's just so much to do in such that little area. Like, we were there 3.5 hours. That was not enough time. And it wasn't even busy.
Yeah.
It just was not enough time. We didn't even really touch on the Mario Kart queue. Mario Kart queue is like mind-blowing. There's so much fanfare.
It's so long, but none of it is boring. They pack it with so much visual stimulation and all of these life-size props, and I don't know what you would call it, but it's like a research room. It makes me think of Luigi's Mansion more than anything. But
yeah, it looked like a big library.
Yeah.
It's just so many Easter eggs. It's just like pure fan service. Every little detail. And
what was interesting to me was all that stuff was in English. There was nothing in Japanese. Like, on the book spines, it was all English. Like, there was one that was something to the effect of like sibling rivalry through the ages or something like that. And then there was another one called The History of Moo Moo Meadows. Or something. Like, it was just really cute, and all these little references. I just thought it was just so well done. It really was. Like, the queue, they put a lot of thought into that.
I could honestly spend forever looking at the books to see if there are references to other Nintendo games.
Yeah, there's so many. I didn't even get to see them all. It was kind of hard to see too, because it was actually kind of dark in there. Because it's supposed to be like a dark library kind of thing. I think it's Bowser. It must be Bowser's library, I'm guessing, because there was a chair, and there was a portrait of Peach on the chair.
Oh.
Because, Bowser's kind of obsessed with her.
Kind of creepy.
A little bit.
He never struck me as a reading type. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, oh man, it looks so fun and so whimsical, and just the kinetic energy is insane. The giant piranha plant that's in kind of the middle area blows my mind. They all move so fluidly, and it's like the game translated to real life.
And because it's a Japanese park, we know that they will maintain it and actually keep the stuff working the way it's supposed to.
Let's hope so. Yeah.
Let's hope so.
There's a lot of movement going on in there. Yeah. The one thing that I noticed just a few days ago was because there was a lot of elements in Super Nintendo World. I just thought, I don't know what this is from. Like, what is this in reference to? And getting the new Mario game, which I know was on the Wii U, but I never played it actually. But they took so many elements from that and put it in the land, which I thought was really smart. Because there's this the big slot machine is in there, and that's a mini game, and the really long like question blocks, and all these just like references and stuff made a lot more sense once I played the Super Mario 3D World. And like Mount Beanpole, like the centerpiece thing, like obviously that was like there's a level in Super Mario World called Mount Beanpole. It looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's crazy. And Peach's Castle. We didn't talk about Peach's Castle. The entrance.
Yeah.
Like
the tube. The
warp pipe.
Going into the warp pipe, it does that iconic sound. Like you just like, oh, just joy, like goosebumps. You're like, oh my goodness, what's exactly happening? And then you walk into Peach's Castle, and then the music right from the Nintendo 64 game, the portraits on the wall, is just like perfect. It's so good.
Brings back memories.
It definitely
really does.
And I think it's so interesting and smart because with these lands, the Mario games have been coming out for ages, and you have to pick a quintessential visual style that translate to everyone. Like if they did a Zelda land, I don't know if they would do it stylized like Breath of the Wild, for example. It's just so interesting how they decided to do Super Mario 3D World after Odyssey came out, though. It's definitely different. This feels more like round, soft edges and bright neon colors.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it feels kind of classic and timeless, even though it's tied to the newer games. If you were an 80s gamer and you played the original Super Mario Brothers, you'd still be able to recognize, what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, it just works. Like they just, everyone that worked on it, that designed this, like it was just, they put a lot of thought into this, and I just thought it was very clever to tie it to a newer game. So I guess, the longevity of it will last even longer, because of course there's going to be families that are going to go to this. You can tell it's very aimed towards that, with a lot of nods to all of us who are older fans that have been around for a while. So I think they did a good job of trying to make it appealing to different demographics. Of course Mario Kart notwithstanding a little bit, but I love it. Like I want to go back. I really do. And Universal Studios Japan is just a wonderful park to go to anyway. Overall, like the Wizarding World, the Flying Dinosaur, which I absolutely love. That's my favorite coaster in the world. I'll have to try the Velocicoaster once that opens, whenever I can get back to the US and see how they compare, right?
Yeah.
And it also has that killer parade, or is that?
Are you guys doing parades right now? What is?
No, we're not doing those. No. But yeah, the Universal Nighttime Parade. That's basically just the electrical parade,
on steroids.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool parade. I thought. Yeah. I like it.
We are definitely very jealous of you getting to enjoy it, and hopefully we can come and visit you over there sometime soon. We're staying on your couch.
I hope so. Yeah, there's always room.
Big couch. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for letting us pick your brain about Super Nintendo World. I hope we get an opportunity to go check it out at some point. I am dying. I need to go.
Can you remind everyone once more where we can find you online to find out more about your adventures in Japan?
Yeah, so everything's up on our website at tdrexplorer.com. That's where we have like pictures and everything. And then, of course, here on YouTube under TDR Explorer. We're also on Instagram as well. So you can follow us there. And yeah, just we're talking everything theme parks here in Japan. So come and follow along. It's fun.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you for having me.
We'll definitely have to have you back on again sometime.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is great.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye. And before we go, we had a super chat pop up
Yes.
that I wanted to call attention to, but we were so deep in the Nintendo talking. Corey927 sent us $5 and said, "Happy Valentine's Day. This live stream brings me happiness since I fractured my ankle while shoveling snow."
Oh,
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm glad we could provide you some entertainment.
I almost wish you'd save the $5 and give it to a neighbor kid to have them shovel for you.
Right.
But I don't think you can get a kid to shovel for $5 anymore. Like, that's not the going rate these days.
They'd probably ask for 20 up front
At least.
to start. And I have one listener thank you to share this week. In case you did not know, Attractions Magazine has a 4-tier subscription service where you can pick Basic, Club, VIP, or Digital if you prefer to watch all of your things and read them on screens. And if you pick Club or VIP the week after you subscribe, you get a shout out here on the Attractions Podcast. And this week it's Matthew Schmidt. Thank you so much.
Yay! The crowd goes wild.
And if you are interested, our winter 2020-2021 issue is available now at attractionsmagazine.com/store. We're working on the spring issue. It's going to be great. Very excited. Pick it up. And Seth, if you would tell the folks at home why it's important to give us a review on Apple Podcasts.
There are these things called algorithms. Artificial intelligence is determining what you and other people get to see. And if you want the world out there to know about the wonders of the Attractions Podcast, you need to go, especially on Apple iTunes, because they rule the cybersphere, and give us 5 stars, whether we deserve it or not. I mean, are we truly deserving? It's hard to say. We're all just kind of victims of fate. We're stardust in the universe, but we would like 5 stars from you, because that helps us get out to listeners and continues this vicious cycle. I mean, virtuous cycle.
You got really existential with it.
I think you should do that bit next week, because I just went off the rails.
I'm going to have a crisis later thinking about stars in the universe.
We need to script that next time.
We will. And before we go, tell them where they can find you on the interwebs.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @Skuberski or at the UG Series, and you can pick up a copy of my new book, The Unofficial Guide to Universal Orlando 2021, at theunofficialguides.com.
Applause. And you can find me having an existential crisis at Brittany Tuttle. That's BRITTANITUTTLE. Yes, it's spelled funny on Twitter and Instagram. Also every day at attractionsmagazine.com, at Attractions on Twitter, at Attractions Magazine on Instagram, and youtube.com/attractionsmagazine, where you've been hanging out with us for the live show. I hope it wasn't too off the rails for you.
Thank you for spending your Valentine's night with us.
Yes, I feel very touched that you all chose to spend your evenings with us instead of the ones you love.
But not touched in a creepy way.
Not touched in
a good way.
In a
good touches
way.
Only. Good touches.
No bad touch. And until next week, I hope you guys stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and have fun. Play some Nintendo games, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.